more on the Iranian elections, I'm joined now by Mohsen Milani. He's the Executive Director of the Center for Strategic and Diplomatic Studies at the University of South Florida. Welcome to the program. We still don't know the final results, but critics have said that the suggestion that reformists and moderates can change things is unlikely.
It seems to me that we have to go beyond this dichotomy of hardliners versus softliners, and should look at this election in terms of those who have been in favor of the nuclear deal, those who are in favor of reintegrating Iran into the world economic and political order, and those who want to make Iran a gentler, kinder society. I would say that the result of the elections for the Iranian parliament show that those forces, the forces of moderation, have prevailed. And that means that Mr. Rouhani, the Iranian president, his hands would be strengthened significantly, and his chances for re-election now have increased substantially as well.
And what does this mean in real terms for an impact that it will have on the government and the Assembly of Experts?
In terms of the Iranian parliament, it could mean that should Mr. Rouhani decide to pursue a less confrontational and a more moderate foreign policy, he would have more support within the parliament. It also means that if his government decides to initiate internal reforms, something which he had promised when he campaigned 2 years ago for the presidency, he would have a better chance of success. It is very important to point out that in the city of Tehran, where 25% of the population live, of the 30 top candidates, of the 30 top vote getters, all of them, every single one of them, belong to the reformist faction. That, I think, is a major victory for the forces of moderation for the Iranian parliament.
How is this going to affect things, though, outside of Tehran? What about the rural areas?
I'm sorry, the line got disconnected again. Would you repeat the question?
How is this going to affect the rural areas outside of Tehran?
Well, it appears, based on everything that I have seen, that the hardliners, those who oppose Rouhani and his programs, have done much better in the rural areas. Historically, that has always been the case. Even prior to the Islamic Revolution of 1979, Iranian rural areas were much more conservative and voted for conservative candidates than they did in the urban areas. The elections, I think, showed this huge difference between major urban areas and rural areas. For the record, however, I must say that Iran is not unique in this. Most Middle Eastern countries have the same problem, and even in mature democracies, such as the United States, we see that usually the smaller towns and the small villages tend to be more religious, tend to be more conservative than huge cosmopolitan and metropolitan areas.
Okay, Mohsen Milani, thank you very much for your time.